can't stop the signal. No matter what happens, I have to do my mental health evaluation once a week and shout it at my monitors. As people react very far away, flood the chat with their insanity, with their nonsense. Oh, jeez. Should I stay? I'm tempted to just like dive in to my complaints for this week, of which I have many. I have a substantial number of complaints. I could also cover nonsense, just the regular bullshit, for fun. Though I will say this, because I assume that the people who are listening at the very beginning of the stream are the most interested in random shit that I do. I'm again not going to stream video games this weekend, probably. Though I don't know, who knows. The funny thing about weekends is that weekends are the most frustrating time for me, because when there's issues and I'm trying to fix them, nobody works on the weekend. So it's like, who are you gonna call? Nobody's like, everyone takes the weekend off, so you're just like sitting on your hands for 2 days, but you still want to fix things, so you're just not very productive. You don't really have much outlet. However, not this weekend, the 17th, next Saturday, I have messaged Jim, who is now on Post, by the way. It's just Post, I think it's just Jim, right? Yeah, at Jim. POA.st/@Jim, or at Jim at POA.st if you're already on the Fediverse. He's there because what's his face got Medicare banned from Twitter, so he finally has opened a Post account, a Fediverse account. And I believe that Ricada is also going to open a Fediverse account. I don't know if it will be on Post. I know that Dick wants to get back on the Fediverse, and I don't know. I guess people are finally waking up to the fact that they should have made a fucking Fediverse account years ago. And the Fediverse has been functional for years at this point, and people are just like, well, my audience is already baked into to Twitter. I don't want to try and force people to adopt a new technology. However, I will say, based on the fact that 2,100 people are watching on Odyssey, and a couple hundred more sprinkled throughout the other options, it appears that everyone has finally realized that, yes, we do in fact need alternative technology to the mainstream. Everybody, for years, even during Trump, when people were being like mass censored during the Trump shit, everyone was just like, Facebook and Twitter, YouTube, they're the biggest. And I don't really, I mean, it doesn't work on my TV. I can't put Odyssey on my TV. I can't cast it to my TV. So I'll stay on YouTube. I think it's setting in to everyone now at this point. This shit's kind of fucked. This is pretty retarded. It is now time to get over the fact that you can't cast your shit to Chrome on your television set. You spoiled flossing, curly pasta haired zoomy zooms. Or I mean, it's funny if you're like someone who is very young, like if you're 18 right now, I want to contextualize how spoiled that sentiment is. When I was growing up, and I now get to say this, it's been so old, I had dial-up. So when you download a movie right now on the internet, you probably have a connection that's like 20 megabytes per second. We had, I think it was 32 kilobytes a second. So you have a connection speed which is approximately 1,000 times faster than what I had, and that's all I had to download shit. I had to download MP3, 5 megabyte MP3 files for if I wanted to listen to Tub Thumping or All Star by that one band. I had to wait 4 minutes for it. You have no fucking clue the agony. And now it's like, well, here's a streaming platform that works perfectly well, but it doesn't cast on my television. Fuck off. Deal with it, you fucking zoomer. Jeez. Smash Mouth, that's right. Okay, so that's that. The Queen's dead, in case you've not heard. Queen Elizabeth is dead, which means they will stop putting her fucking face on all the coins, so I can finally get some coins from British territories that I would actually want. I don't want anything with the Queen on them. I find her repulsive. I don't know why. Though I watched a movie once about the Queen. It was like a 2017 movie about Princess Diana's death and how the royal family reacted. And it made me realize that although I don't like the Queen, I do think she's the best of the English. And now that she's dead, the English are collectively worse off because their peak has dropped. So, however infinitesimal that is with the number of English people still alive, the fact that she's dead has worsened the condition of their phenotype considerably. Now you have King Charles, who is going to die soon. There's speculation that he will simply pass the throne on to the next one, his son, I guess. Because they think that it would be better if the monarch ruled a long time. Like if King Charles dies in the next year or so, then the Republicans will get their way and the monarchy will be disestablished. Very, very strange times. My website dies and so does the Queen. Maybe there's some correlation there. Okay. So that's that. What do you guys think? Should I talk about the forum stuff first, or should I talk about locale stuff first? I do have a little bit of like miscellaneous fun things to go over. I'll leave it up to the chat. The chat. Queen Sargon. Sargon the Queen. Forum. Okay, let's talk about the forum. Everyone seems anxious to hear about the forum. So last week, if you are listening to this podcast as a podcast, and you don't have any idea about what I do off the site, then last week you would have heard me talking about Cloudflare and how they published a very strong statement in defense of the KiwiFarms and how they wrote about their policies and how they leave things up to the justice system and how it's a bad precedent to allow a social media campaign to remove DDoS protection from a website so that the website can be subject to DDoS attacks. Very strong statement. Very, very galvanizing. It left a good impression. It seemed very sensible. It seemed very professional. You would be then shocked to hear that the next day at 6 p.m. on Saturday, on Labor Day weekend, Matthew Prince pushed out a much less professional, much less sensible, much more defamatory statement that looks like this, called Blocking KiwiFarms with KiwiFarms stylized incorrectly. It is, in case you're wondering, it is two words, both words proper case, and it's also a, like the Netherlands. It has a "the" there, an indefinite article. Unlike Ukraine, which is not the Ukraine, it is simply Ukraine. KiwiFarms is more like the Netherlands than Ukraine. Anyways, Matthew Prince put this out, and interestingly, and I do want to point this out, if I have the capability to do so, I just want to see the blog. I just do this. Some way, there's no way to go back and forth. Okay, so if you look at this article, which was put out first, and this was what I read last stream, you'll notice that this woman named Elisa Starzak, who I believe, I don't know, she looked kind of Asian, but she is the PR person for Cloudflare. And this article is very professional, very well written, very easily understood, flows into each other correctly, and is all around a logical statement. This one, without Elisa, unlike all the other posts that Matthew Prince put out, does not flow. It does not make sense. It does not come across as rational at all. It is kind of bizarre. So this is the message. I think I could even, no, I can't. I moved all the domains off. The message that you got for any of my domains, not just KiwiFarms, for over a week has been a blanket statement that just says we blocked this website due to an imminent threat to human life, and it links to this page, which states very roundaboutly how they are not hypocrites and how they've not backtracked their own statement. They not backtrack their previous statement. How this is in line with their policy. They're totally not panicking. This is not Matthew Prince shitting himself, and they're totally in the right. And they do this by citing imminent threat to human life, which they do not elaborate on. I kind of wrote about this, but I want to elaborate a little bit. It has been a week since this message was posted. I have not been contacted by any law enforcement. I was not told by Cloudflare what the threat was. I was not given any indication of what this actually is. And it's basically left up to the imagination. Your guess is really as good as mine in terms of what they saw that they are now claiming is a threat to human life. In the roundabout way that they talk about this, sort of makes it so that I can't prove them wrong. Something somewhere out there gave Matthew Prince the inclination that there was an imminent threat to human life, and that is not a legally challengeable statement. I can't say, no, there's not, look over here. It's sort of like he thinks that, and that's good enough. And it's bullshit. The only thing I can think of, the only thing that I found was that there's a guy, and at first I thought that this was an intentionally distressing statement that he was trying to make to scare people. Someone said, hey, they said that they were going to go to a poutine shop, and there's 14 poutine shops throughout Northern Ireland. So some smart-ass anime avatar fuckhead makes a post that says, I know a couple of IRA boys that live up in Belfast where they're at, and we're going to bomb all those poutine shops, and we're going to station IRA guys out there to try and find this person. And then he deleted his post 14 minutes later with the deletion message being retarded, as in my post was retarded. Probably because it was pointed out by 8 different people that it was a retarded post and was reported 7 times. So every 2 minutes, somebody reported this post until the user deleted it. And then 18 minutes after, Ride responded to the reports. So 32 minutes after the post was made, Ride actioned the reports, which it was already deleted at the time, but he probably would have deleted it because he said that he didn't have to delete it because it was already deleted in the message. And I think that this is what was the casus belli of taking down the site, because it was down minutes later. So this post, 14 minutes of lifetime, was screen cap, posted onto Twitter, and resulted in Cloudflare taking action on a Saturday, on Matthew Prince personally, on a Saturday, a day after the previous statement, which was a recommitment to not being the moderator of the internet. And contrary to that statement, this one actually explains that they are the moderator of the internet, because not only did they report the content to authorities autonomously, they also decided that authorities would not respond fast enough to this imminent, urgent danger, which apparently only they could stop by blocking access to the site. And he also stressed, I think it was in this statement or in a press statement, that the blocking KiwiFarms was easier to him as a judgment call than blocking the Daily Stormer or 8chan. So which is a lie. Obviously, it's one fucking post on a site that was deleted by the time Matthew Prince did anything. IMO, in my opinion, something happened, and there's speculation. Someone told me that they have an insider. I don't know if this is true. This is just fourth-hand information. He said that MasterCard and Visa card threatened Cloudflare, so he had to come up with a bullshit reason to justify this erratic response, this whiplash from his second post. And this is what he came up with: that it was the KiwiFarms, and keep in mind that Cloudflare is a site that hosts terrorist websites. Literally, they host ISIS affiliates that host videos of people decapitated and set on fire. Actual terrorists. Matthew Prince said that the KiwiFarms was the worst site he's ever seen, and it was an urgent threat to human life that was never explained to anyone. Nobody ever talked to me about. I was never identified to me by Matthew Prince. But you think, if it was such a huge issue, then I should be notified, right? So that I can correspond with law enforcement. No, that didn't happen. The other thing, by the way, was that someone took a picture outside of Keffel's apartment with a note, and they mentioned the KiwiFarms. Problem is that this post was made on 4chan. So either he deleted service for the KiwiFarms for over what was effectively a joke that lasted for 14 minutes. It was up for 14 minutes. deleted quicker, by the way, than Facebook deleted the Christchurch shooting video, or he revoked service over a post that was made on a different website. And I really don't know which is worse in terms of bad judgment calls, but it makes much more sense to me that he simply got threatened by something. The other fun thing, and this was pointed out to me. I don't even have this on Firefox. This is an interesting video, and the content of it is kind of boring. It's basically like a talking head thing. Enterprise Summit, it's called, from 2015. And we have a nice lineup of 3 intelligent gentlemen here. One of them, the one in the green, is Matthew Prince, CEO of Cloudflare. And the other one, I think it's the guy on the left. His name is Michael Janke, or Janke. I don't know how you pronounce that. The interesting thing about Michael Janke is that is the CIA, ex-CIA, I don't know if he's ex-CIA here, the CIA or ex-CIA agent who is the father of Isabel Loretta Janke, the woman that coaxed Chris into raping his mother and boils small animals alive and brags about it on Discord. They're related. That person who does those things is related to one of those guys sitting on the couch, and they know Matthew Prince. Isn't that an interesting chat? I really don't. It's a small world. Yeah, small world. 7 billion people on this planet, but there he is, ex-CIA officer, contractor, whatever the fuck he was, father of somebody who basically was a psychopath, a soulless. You know, it's funny. You can pull up a picture. Watch, I'm gonna show you something. Really, the gateway to the soul really is in the eyes. And this won't translate to people who are just or just listening, but I do want to show something. Like, you look at like his daughter, and you look at like her dead, soulless eyes, like literally like psychopath. It's like in the Thing, the horror movie by what's his face. Anytime a character was possessed by the Thing, he would digitally edit out the backlighting in the eyes, so there was no glint of light in them, and that was sort of like his director's cue that person was no longer who they were. You can kind of see that with this. They don't really look like a person with a soul. Same kind of vein. You look at Keffels, and you just look in the eyes, and you're just like, there's nothing there. These people are like skinwalkers. They're like aliens hobbling around in flesh suits, making decisions that impact real human beings, but there's just not like a fucking thing going on behind those eyes. See what I mean? It's trick to me. The fluoride stare. Yeah, pretty much.